Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on this latest YouTube video. Quite excited this morning. Postman Pat's just been. If you don't live in the UK you won't know who Postman Pat is, but basically I have had a nice delivery in the post today. This should have been here just before Christmas, but because of the postal strikes in the UK it's actually come today. So I'm going to do a live unboxing. It is all Beatles records. So I'm sure you'll all be glad to know that there's, it is just Beatles and solo Beatles stuff that's in it. I'm not quite sure what is in it. I've got a rough idea what's in it. So I'll go through all the records with you, then at the end I'll tell you what I've actually paid for these records. The seller did say they are in varying degrees of condition. So basically he's saying that they go from poor up to very good. There's 15 albums, folks, so I will warn you, this might take quite a while to do. This is the box, as you can see, unopened. So I've got to try and unopen it now with my trusty penknife. While I'm doing this, I will just say thank you to everybody that has been supporting me in my channel for the last year or so. Surprise straight away. Yeah, thank you to everybody that is supporting me and subscribing, leaving likes and leaving comments. I'm just going to move something around. Just give them 1 second. I'm excited about sharing these records with you. I didn't even set it up right. Yeah, thank you to everybody that is subscribing, leaving likes and leaving messages. I do appreciate it. So like I say, there's 15 albums in here. Some of them are doubles. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure what the condition is going to be like, or if they're supposed to have posts and stuff, if they're going to be in. But I've just seen one that looks okay. So you'll have to excuse me because I'm actually really excited about this. Right, so what's this one? Right. Right, the first one, I'm going to have to put my glasses on a bit, is a copy of the Beatles White Album. And it's made in France. And I know it's made in France because it says so just there. Right, first impressions, cover's not too bad there. Split on the seam, but the back is absolutely awful. Although, looking at that, I think most of that might come off, because I don't think it's actually sticking anything down. So it's a side opener, unnumbered. So we'll see if both the discs are in first, shall we? Which I think they are. Well, that's okay. Right, so this is side one. Like I say, these are the ones that were made in France by Patty Marconi, but it will still say manufactured in the UK, but it does say made in France as well on them. That is side one. And then that is side two. Now the first thing to say is side one looks absolutely okay. Side two has got a nasty scratch there, but I haven't played any of these, I haven't cleaned any of these. You've just seen me unopen the box, so once I've cleaned it, it could be okay. And you get the EMI inner sleeve from the 1970s. So that's side record one. I've got record two in with it. Yeah, record two is in it. That hasn't got a sleeve. I don't know what that is, because looking in there, there isn't any rips or out inside there. So I think this has been stuck on a wall. I think it's been stuck up on the wall. So this is sides 3 and 4. Yeah, there is some marks on them. There's quite a few scratches on them, but to be honest, they look bad, but you can't feel them. So I think, I'm hoping that they will play okay. So that is side 3. and that is side 4. Now these records are basically from the 1973, something like that. So like this side 3 and 4 didn't have a sleeve, so I'm just going to put in a sleeve while I think about it. So I'm not sure if these would have had the poster and the pictures with them, but to be fair, I think they should clean up okay, should. So that's the first one. Right, now we've got Help. Again, this is a later copy, so it's on a non-flip back sleeve. Again, the cover isn't that good. It's gone on the seam there, and it's gone there. And this cost £4.99 from HMV many years ago. But to be fair, the rest of the cover isn't that bad. It's on a 2-box Parlophone EMI, and it is a later recording. I'd say it's from the late 70s, this. But to be honest, for the state of the cover, the record is actually really nice. That's side 1, and that is side 2. Please try and bear with me to the end of this end of this video, because there is like going to be there might be a little announcement at the end of it, which will explain why I've been buying job lots. Next up, we've got probably one of the most commonest Beatles records, the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. Again, this has got brown tape all over the back of it, but I can't understand why, because there isn't actually, it's not holding anything together. Strange, would that come off? That might actually come off. Again, it's got the gatefold sleeve, and apart from having the stupid tape on it, the rest of it doesn't look in that bad a condition. Because somebody says if you eat it up with an hairdryer, sometimes you can get tape off. It is a UK copy though. And this record is nearly mint. I'd say that's excellent plus, the actual record. No marks on it whatsoever. Yes, it does need a clean. And you get the original inner sleeve with it. These are worth quite a bit on their own. So why has that got that on it? I'm going to hope that comes off with a hairdryer. Yeah, there's a bit of wear there, but I don't think it's actually hiding anything. I don't think it's actually on there for a reason. That is very strange. Like I say, cover's not in very good condition, but it might be if I can get that tape off. But the record is absolutely amazing, in really nice condition. Right, I've got to be careful of these. Right. The next one is the Beatles 1967 to 1970. Quite a battered up copy by the looks of it. But at least it ain't got tape all over it. I think these have come from a house clearance. That's what my guess is, they've come from a house clearance. Again, this is quite a rare one because it hasn't got the George Martin or Phil Spector production credits. So it's a shame that it's not in a little bit of better condition. Although having said that, right, they're not in that bad a condition though. This is side 3 and 4. And they are the UK ones. Yeah, that's not actually too bad. And you get the original lyric sheet, which was missing from the German one that we looked at the other week. It's got both records in it. Yes, it has. But they're mixed up, so they're in the wrong sleeves. So that is side 1 and 2. And they're not in that bad a condition, to be honest. They're not really in that bad a condition. So if I take that one and put that one in there, and that one should be into there. Some fantastic tracks on these albums, 62 to 66 and 66 to 70. Obviously the compilation albums, but I think they were slightly different wherever you lived. I think you had the mixes, so if you lived in America, your mixes of these albums were slightly different to the UK versions. Right, now we've got Double Fantasy. Yes, I've got plenty of copies of this. The sleeve isn't in actually that bad a condition. This was £3.99 from HMV many years ago. Well worn, don't get me wrong. And for some reason somebody's decided to take a bite out of there. Has it got the original inner sleeve? Yes, it has. But again, the record doesn't actually look that bad. Yes, there's some marks on it, but I think all them will come off when I clean them later. Yes, not the rarest John Lennon album ever, but that's not in too bad a condition apart from that little bit on the cover. What have we got next? This is A Hard Day's Night, but I think this might be a foreign one. Because it's got a number and it's 074044145 on there. Later pressing, obviously stereo. Cover's completely gone there. But the rest of it's not too bad. Oh, there, it's only yellow and black. Parlophone. I actually think this is a Portuguese copy, but I might be wrong. But the record's actually quite nice. Although there is some label damage there, but it is still intact. And again, once that's been cleaned, I don't think that's going to come out too bad. Let's just say where it's been made. Yeah, Portugal. Portuguese copy. So it's a shame that that cover is in that sort of condition, because that would have been quite a rare record. As in, it'd been worth a few, you know, would have been worth a little bit of money. Next one is the Beatles Rarities. This is the UK version. Again, not the rarest Beatles album to find, and it's PMC 101. So I presume this is the one that was released as a standalone one, i.e. you didn't have to buy it in the box set. But having said that, the record is in really nice condition. And the sleeve isn't that bad actually, little bit of wear there. That's not too bad. Again, not the rarest Beatles album to find, but they are actually becoming quite hard to get now for a decentish copy. I'd say the cover lets that down again, which I think is going to be like on all these. I think it's the covers, not necessarily the records. John Lennon, Rock and Roll. Fantastic album. If you haven't got a copy of this, you know, try and check one out again. spine damage, but the rest of the album cover isn't that bad. Obviously it's on Apple, PCS 7169. And that just needs a clean. Honestly, that does just need a clean. Yeah, I'd say these are from house clearance. But it's strange because the records are, well, the majority that I've seen so far, the records are in really, really nice condition, but the covers aren't. Well, usually it'd be the other way around, wouldn't it? The covers are usually okay and the records have been played to death. The Beatles tapes from the David Wigg interview. Right, this needs sticking because it's come apart. It really has come apart, to be honest. But it has still got the booklet, but all that needs re-sticking, which I can do. You still do get the booklet with it. This was released on Polydor in around 1976, I think, and it is actually an interview album from like the late 60s, 1969, something like that. Again, the records don't look like they've been played. But isn't it strange how, if the records haven't been played, or hardly been played, why the covers are so crap? That just needs clean. There's no marks on that whatsoever, it's just dust. Unless, I think these might have been put in a garage or something like that and they've got damp. Which would that would explain why they're coming away at the seams and stuff like that one. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. This again. Nice copy of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Again, see, it's just gone there. It's not that bad though. This is a stereo, so I presume yeah, this is a stereo recording. This is a later copy, I think. Do we get any of the goodies with it? Yeah, we get that. We get the Sergeant Pepper sheet. Yeah, I'd say this is a late 70s pressing. It has got a few marks on it, but nothing deep. So you can guess what Beatle Dave's going to be doing this afternoon. Cleaning all these records. That's actually not in too bad a condition. Just gone there, so that needs sticking. This is what I say, I think these might have been in a loft. Or, you know, been well enjoyed. And then probably when CDs came in, they just thought, oh well, we'll shove them in the loft or the garage and forget about them. What's this one? This is Abbey Road. Again, made in France, and we've even got, this one might be in a bit better condition because it's actually in a sleeve. You know, if it can get out. Yeah. I think it's stuck. So that's no good. Probably has done its job and it's protected it. Actually, that's not in too bad a condition, that one. And it even says made in France just there, look. Again, come away, look. So I think these have got damp at some point. But this is the strange thing about these, because it will say made in France by Pathy Marconi there at the top there. But then it just still say manufactured in the UK there. Slight scratch there. And to be honest, that's not in too bad a condition. Really is not in too bad a condition. I'm not saying it's mint, but that is probably one of the best ones we've seen so far. And even the cover's nice on that one for a change. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. Right. Oh. It's hard to think these were probably somebody's pride and joy back in the day, weren't they? And it's a shame that they just haven't been stored right or looked after properly. Or see, that one's come off straight away, but see that, if you keep them in that, see that sort of bubbled, it can affect your covers eventually. So this is Beatles 1962 to 1966. So we've got both of these, haven't we? Got this one and the blue one. This has got a very, very small George Martin credit there. We've got the inner sleeves with it. No. Well, it has. That one has. So that is side one. Yeah, it has been played, but it's not in too bad. I say that's good. Nice Apple labels. And you get the lyric sheet with it, which is a plus. Do we on the other one though? Do we on the other one? Don't think we do. Unfortunately, that one hasn't even, that's got no inner sleeve, and that's got some really, really nasty marks on it. But all that, I don't know if you can see it, then there, that will come off on the cleaning machine. You have to clean it about 3 times, but that should all come off. And again, that's not in too bad a condition. And I've got a spare copy. Yeah. So we'll put that one in there for now. Even though it probably isn't the right one, but it just keep it a little bit better. No, took it to right. I don't think that is the right one, but at least it has got something with it now. So yeah, Bill. Again, to be honest, that one, apart from that being there, isn't that bad. So far, I'm actually quite impressed with these. Not overwhelmed as such, but I'm quite impressed. Beatles for sale. This is a later copy because it's a lot lighter. Again, made in France. See, these are actually quite hard to get. And in all fairness, this isn't in too bad a condition so far. So it'll be a 2-box EMI, won't it? That just needs a good clean. So that one's okay. So we've had that one's okay. The Abbey Road's okay. We've had that Hard Day's Night from Portugal, which if the sleeve was a little bit better, cover was a little bit better, would probably be worth a few pound. The Sergeant Pepper one was okay. Yeah, that's in actually quite nice condition. From around 1973. And to get them with the stickers on is quite hard as well. What we got? Oh, this is a weird one. This is a strange one. So it's rubber sole. Nothing new there then. But look at the back. And then it says Beatles number 7. It's the same track listing as the UK version. So you've got Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood, You Won't See Me, Nowhere Man, Think For Yourself, The Word of Me Show. Then you've got What Goes On, Girl, I'm Looking Through You, In My Life, Wait, If I Needed Someone, and Run For Your Life. So, where's this from then? It's Italian, made in Italy, on a 1-box Parlophone EMI, blue label. That one's probably, if that was in better condition, the record itself's not too bad, but the sleeve or cover has dropped to bits. And I don't think you can glue these either, can you? Might just be able to do it, but the thing is, that's, I don't know. Would you bother gluing it? Would it devalue it if you glued it, or would it devalue it if you put sellotape across there? Which I think is the only way you do it, because where the flaps are there, they've stuck onto that bit. It's nice though. That is quite a weird one. I wasn't expecting that. Only a few more to go, folks. Now, is this a real one or is this a fake? It's a Beatles Let It Be, which saying, yeah, that's as common as Dirt Dave, which it is, but this is the American copy. So it's got the red apple and it's got an Abco managed company on the back there. Opens up, you get it as a gatefold, and it should be on a red apple. Did I put it in? I think this could be an original. You might not be able to see it, but it says Phil and Ronnie there, and then you've got the JS12500 something 2, and then here, I don't know if you can see it, it's got that, it's like a triangle with a stick through it there, which doesn't that mean it's a Winchester pressing, because that's where they used to make the guns. Yeah, it looks quite authentic to me. And on the even on the B side, you've got the Phil and Ronnie there, Phil Spector and Ronnie Spector, and then you've got that strange triangle with the stick through it there. I'd say, I don't know. Reproduced for disc by Phil Spector, recorded in England. I don't know. Perhaps if you live in America, you could tell me, is this a real one or is it a fake? Or a counterfeit? Because I've always been under the impression that if it says Phil and Ronnie in it, it's an original. And the actual printing looks okay on it. That's actually quite a nice one to have. Has it got the... And it's a really thick card as well. you know, the construction's really thick. I don't know. What do you think, folks? Is this a real one or is it fake? My gut feeling is that's real, and if that's real, that could be worth a little bit of money. Could be worth a little bit of money. Got the Beatles story. The cover on this is probably the best one out of the lot. Is that all of them then? 2-record set was released in America in around 1964, what they call a documentary album. So there's no songs on it as such. And this is a later pressing because it's on Apple. It's actually quite nice. Yeah, it's not one that most fans like, to be honest. I think I've got about 3 or 4 copies of this, and I think I've only ever played it once all the way through. Got one on the Rainbow Capital, and then I think I've got one on Apple, and then I think, if I remember rightly, I've got one on a purple Capital as well. That looks like it's never been played. Really does look like it's never been played. So condition wise, this is the best one out of the lot. Unfortunately, price wise, it's probably the one that's worth the least amount of money. It's a lovely condition though, it really is in nice condition that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then finally we've got Revolver. This is a later copy from the UK by the looks of it. It was £3.99 from the HMV shop many years ago. Can you imagine now going into HMV and getting a Beatles record for £3.99? Oh, this is the worst out of the lot. That's nasty. That is nasty. Side 2, I'd say is a very good plus. Although this one has got some really nasty scratches on it. One there. Got a horrible one just there, look. But having said that, they don't feel very deep, so I might be lucky and I might be able to get away with that. Yeah. Don't know. We'll have to see what it plays like. The cover's not bad though. To be honest, the cover's not that bad. Just starting to get the scene there. But I've seen worse. Yeah, somebody scribbled on it. I just noticed somebody scribbled on it there. Look, put a moustache on George and tried to do a beard on Ringo. That spoilt it. So I think, if I've counted that right, there's 16 albums there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 17 albums there, folks. And there's a few double LPs. Condition is basically, as the seller said, from poor to average to good. There's a couple in there that I think we'll be okay once we've cleaned them all. What did I pay? What did I just say? 17 albums there. £55. That was with the postage, £55. So have I done okay there? I don't know. I think I have. I mean, what does it work out? Just over £3 an album, isn't it? If you put the postage in with it. It's around £3 an album, isn't it? So if I was going to sell them, most of them I would get more than £3 for, wouldn't I? Might not be much more, might be like a fiver. I mean, what would that be worth? Can get the pen off, it might be worth, and it plays okay, could be worth a tenner. That Beatles Story one's probably the best one out of the lot, but it's probably only ever going to be worth a tenner. The Let It Be one could be the one that surprises me, because I think I'm 90% sure that is an original American press, and if it is, that could be worth a lot of money. The Italian Rubber Soul, if the sleeve was back, it's probably worth about £15, as it is probably worth around a tenner. Beatles for Sale was good, wasn't it? That's probably worth around the £15 mark. 62 to 66, probably worth about 8. Abbey Road, once it's cleaned, probably be worth about around the £15 mark. Sgt. Pepper's probably around the same. The Beatles Interviews is probably worth around the £5 mark. Rock and Roll, that one was okay, wasn't it? That's probably around £7 or £8. So Beatles Rarities is probably worth around a tenner. The Hard Day's Night, that was the one from Portugal, wasn't it? If it cleans up okay, it's probably going to be worth around £15. Double Fancy is probably worth a fiver. The Beatles 67 to 70 is probably worth around £6, I'd say. The Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, if I can get that stupid tape off the back, it's probably worth around £5 to £10. The Beatles Help, that was just an ordinary UK version, wasn't it? It's probably worth, in that condition, around between £5 and £7, I'd say. Because the disc wasn't that bad, was it? The disc was actually good. It's just that there, isn't it, on that one? And then this one, the White Album, if I can get most of that off, which looking at it I could, because that is actually coming off, look. That's just come off. I think it's going to take a lot of time to do it, but if I can get that off and then clean it, because it is dirty, clean the records, that's probably going to be worth around the £15 mark. But if on average you said they're all worth, I don't know, said they're worth £7 each, and they're 17. 70. That's over £100, isn't it? Yeah, way over £100. What are you on about? Of course it is. 10. If it's worth if you said the £10 each, it's £170, isn't it there? Which some of them you could get £10 for, some of them you're not going to get £10 for, some of them you might get a little bit more than £10 for. So if you said roughly there's, say, £150 worth of records, that's a estimated figure, because obviously I've got to clean them all, and then some of them are going to need new inner sleeves. That, I think that's going to come off. I do think most of that will come off, but it's going to take fucking ages to do it. Because the thing is, some of that is sticky, so unless you get that off, you can't even put it in a plastic sleeve, can you? but I still think that's been on somebody's wall, although why, I don't know. And it's made in France. So if I can get that off, and these clean up and play okay, I'd say that's worth 20 quid. I would say that's probably going to be worth £20. So I haven't done too bad. If you've stayed with me till this long, thank you very much. I don't think I've done that bad, actually. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do on them. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it and you're not subscribed, I know this one's been quite long, but I think it's been worth it, and there might be a follow-up to this one when I've cleaned them all. You know, if you've liked the video and you're not subscribed, just please think about subscribing. It is free. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed, whether you're old subscriber or new subscriber. Thank you very much. It does mean a lot. Once again, thank you to everybody that is leaving comments, leaving likes and subscribing, obviously. A little bit of news. Well, it's not news. It's something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I think in the new year I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through my records because I'm getting to the stage now where I've got too many, but I'll still go out and do things like this. Buy a job lot. I bought, is it 3 or 4 job lots this month? So if you total that up, that's the best part of 100 records I bought in a month. All right. Am I going to keep all them records and play them? I don't know. Is the honest answer to that. I don't know. So what I think I might do, and it is only thinking, there's nothing set in concrete. I think I might go through all my records. I mean, I've got hundreds of records here, hundreds of records behind me. I mean, there's all them there, look. All them there. There's about 800 records in there. I'm either going to try and do a record fair at some point. Bearing in mind all the records will have been cleaned and play tested. So if somebody comes up and says, say for instance this one, say if I got that up for £10, which I think is an average price actually for that, because the record's good but the cover isn't. So apart from that, the cover's okay. But I can, if they say, well, what's it like? Is it okay? I can say, yeah, it's been cleaned and it's been play tested, and I write on it, you know, it plays good, or you know, jumps on so and so tracks, because obviously if a record jumps, the value goes right down. That's one thing I'm thinking of doing. Basically, not because I'm getting tired of my records, but to help fund buying more records. Does that make sense? Like I say, it's nothing solid. It's just something I've been thinking of doing, or maybe even going to like one of these antique stores and renting a store for 6 months or something, because you don't have to be there then, do you? If you watch a bloke called Bum Reseller, so if you're there, Bum Reseller, hello, he's done a similar thing. He's what they call an online seller, so he goes to car boots and stuff, buys things to flip, as in buys it for a certain amount, then sells it for a certain amount. That's how he makes his living. He's also got a record store, by the way, which if you live Birmingham way, maybe you should go and check out. Lovely bloke. I have bought some things off him in the past. So, but then he has got, to help fund his passion for records and things like that, he's gone to a place called, I think it's Red Brick, which is near him. So it's like an antique store. So what you do, you basically rent a space, and then you can sell whatever you want in that space. So yes, if I was going to sell records, I wouldn't put like stuff that's worth £20 or £30 in it. I'd put stuff in it that's worth like 3, 4, up to 5, maybe up to tenner, because the only thing is, because it's not manned, there is people there, but you're not physically there. You just go every so often to restock, basically. People might nick something, so you're not going to put a record that's worth £50 or £60 in it, are you, in case it gets mislaid, shall we say. I'm not saying it would, but you never know, do you? So that is one thing I'm thinking of. Like I said, it's not to clear my record collection off or anything like that. It's basically to help make some room for more records. And I was looking the other day, I've got like Status Quo, from the makers of Status Quo. I've got 2 blue tins, and then I've got the square box of the same records. Mike Oldfield, I've got like all his records, and I've got a box set. ELO, I've got quite a few doubles of some of their records. And then I've got run-of-the-mill stuff like Slade and Shiwaddy Waddy. I don't think anybody's really going to be interested in Shiwaddy Waddy more than for about £1 anyway. And then I've got things like this. I mean, Grease, Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta. Now that is in really, really nice condition. I never play it. Watching some sites or reseller sites, they reckon they get about 15 quid for that. I mean, I can't see it myself. I'd say it's probably a £10 record. What else have we got in here? 5-star mint. So how much is that worth? Never play it. Never play it. What's that one? Sheena Easton. Well, she's not going to be worth a lot, is she? Shiwaddy Waddy. This is just stuff on here that I hardly ever play. This one might be worth a bit. Saxon, Strong Arm of the Law. I mean, that says, I mean, I've started to price some of these up. So that says Saxon, Strong Arm of the Law. Very good, very good. So that means that the record's very good and the cover's very good. But I haven't priced it. I'd say that's probably worth around the, I don't know, £10 mark. But I've got hundreds and thousands of records now. Golden hits of Pat Boone. So I'm just looking. And there's stuff like this. I mean, Diana Ross and Diana Ross greatest hits, including I'm Still Waiting, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Remember Me, and Surrender. And it is a gatefold, right? I've got about 4 copies of that. So if I sell one of them for £5 or something, you know, it's helping to fund my record collecting. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if any of you've done it or you've gone to record. See, the thing about record fairs is I've noticed when I've gone, I have got some bargains from record fairs, but some record fairs will charge people to go in and have a look, others don't. And then if you rent a stall, depending on who's running it, they can go from anywhere from £25 up to £65 for one little table. Well, if it's £65, you've got to be selling a hell of a lot of records, haven't you? The other thing I thought about was opening, I mean, I've got an eBay account, but I haven't sold anything on there for years, to be honest. It's probably doing that again, but then again, it's like now, they charge you for your postage and packaging. From watching other videos, if you put something on, they recommend that you put 2% something on top of your ordinary fee, so they will promote it a little bit. But they should be promoting it anyway, shouldn't they, I think? So that's another thing that I might look at. Then again, I might not do it. I might just think, sod it, I can't be asked to do it. Which probably is what I will do. Because I will sort so many records out, and then I'll start looking at them and I'll think, yeah, but I don't really want to get rid of them. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed looking at these records. Hopefully I'm going to clean them later today. So there might be a follow-up video tomorrow. If I've cleaned them all, I won't have been able to play them all though, will I? But if I've cleaned them up all and they've come up okay and I've played a few, I might do a follow-up video. So until then, it's Beatles Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. If you're in the UK, it's absolutely crap day out there. It's absolutely chucking it down. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you haven't been too bored. And I'll see you all very, very soon. So until the next time, it's Beatles Dave saying ta-da for now and stay safe. Love to you all.